Today is Thursday, December 5th, 2024, and in this video we're going to be talking about an Arctic air mass settling in as we end the week, but we have a warm-up in store as we go into this upcoming weekend. Lake effect snowfall, lots of that, and we're going to be talking about the upcoming pattern by the middle of December in this video. So looking here at the surface pressure and the fronts today, notice that a cold front that moved through with all that wind yesterday across the Midwest is all the way south, moving into the southeastern United States and moving into the mid-Atlantic, and that is attached to an occluding low pressure system up here into portions of Quebec and Ontario at 992 millibars. And looking at that colder air mass that is moving in today, and you can see temperatures are easily 20, 25, if not 30 degrees below the average here for this time of year down into the southeast, whereas the west is starting to see temperatures above average here with temperatures that are 30, 35, and even 40 degrees above the average for this time of year. Notice the colder air remains across the east as we go into Friday. Some of that mild Pacific air, as that ridge starts to flatten out, does start to make its way east towards parts of the Black Hills region of the Dakotas and into parts of the plains tomorrow on Friday. And then once we get into the weekend, those above average temperatures will start to move into the Midwest, more of the plains, and even into the Ohio Valley as we go even into Sunday. So definitely seeing a warm up in store as we go into this upcoming weekend. Let's look at our afternoon highs here on this Thursday afternoon. It's going to be a cold one across the upper Midwest. We're staying into the teens across parts of the upper Midwest, the 20s across the lower part of the Midwest like Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri, and then the Ohio Valley remaining into the 20s today, and then the 30s up here across interior Northeast and New England, and even notice down here in Nashville at 33 for a high this afternoon. Definitely pretty chilly. Let's look at our low temperatures to start off the day on Friday. If you're headed off to work or school, it's going to be a cold one. Make sure to bundle up with a jacket, a scarf, some gloves out there, because temperatures are going to start off in the single digits and teens across the north. And that freezing line, yes, that freezing line goes all the way south to near the Gulf Coast, and parts of northwest Florida like Panama City may be waking up at 32 degrees tomorrow morning. So it's going to be very chilly, but temperatures do rebound tomorrow afternoon into the plains, especially as that mild Pacific air comes from west to east across the country, and you can see more 40s and 50s returning across the plains after what is a cold start tomorrow. We're still remaining into the 20s and 30s across the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast, but we are going to warm up a smidge as we go into tomorrow compared to what we see this afternoon. And then Saturday afternoon, we're going to warm up even more than that. And then by Sunday, we're going to warm up a little bit more than we did on Saturday. So it's kind of a cumulative effect here. We're going to warm up each and every day as we go through the weekend. And then by then, look at that, 50 degrees by Sunday afternoon on the lakefront in Chicago and Milwaukee, 55 in Des Moines, and maybe, just maybe, approaching 60 again in Tulsa and Oklahoma City as we go into Sunday. Let's look here at the weather alerts across the country. We still have those wind advisories over here in the mid-Atlantic and coastal New England. That is where we have the tan shaded colors. The purples, those are winter weather advisories. Travel is a little bit inconvenienced in those areas with snowfall and blowing snow as well. And then we have in the pinks, those are winter storm warnings. That is where more significant travel impacts are expected with either snow and or blowing snow in those areas. Even some blizzard warnings for areas near Erie, Pennsylvania, and even down the Appalachians there from western Maryland into West Virginia. Those blizzard warnings there in the orange where significant blowing and drifting is occurring. So that is really tied to the wind, right? So we're seeing a lot of those strong wind gusts over 40, over 50 miles per hour across the Great Lakes today, especially even over here into the mid-Atlantic and coastal New England from New York City and Long Island all the way up through Hartford and even into Boston. So it's going to be very windy over there through your Friday time frame. Let's look at precipitation. We still have the lake effect snow bands, very significant, going strong across the Great Lakes today. Some snowfall from Maine back all the way down into northern Pennsylvania. and some light to moderate snow there. That'll continue into tonight. The snow bands are going to continue. And then as we go into Friday, it's really going to be just those lake effect snow bands as we go into Friday. And then into Saturday, a new clipper system moves in from Canada across Manitoba and Ontario. That could bring some snowfall again and re-aggravate those lakes again for more lake effect snow on Saturday. And then another storm system again trying to develop across Canada and toward North Dakota and northern Minnesota on Sunday. That could bring a mix of rain, snow, and maybe even some sleet up there as we go to that time frame. Rainfall further south, so coastal Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and parts of Mississippi by Sunday will be pretty wet as well, with some light to moderate rain showers, maybe a few thunderstorms mixed in, non-severe as we go into Sunday. Looking here at the snowfall, we're going to be seeing a few inches of snow for the Great Lakes again, and also up here into the Northeast from Maine all the way southwest towards northern Pennsylvania. A few inches of snow across the Pacific Northwest too, and you can see here the Cascades from Washington State southbound into Oregon could be seeing as much as a foot of snow in some of these areas, especially on Washington State's side of things. Over here into Idaho, into portions of western Montana, northwestern Wyoming, a few inches of snow there as well. Looking at the Great Lakes, we have a few more inches of snow for Michigan, the UP of Michigan, lower Michigan, and then over here in towards portions of the Northeast from Maine all the way back southwest through New Hampshire, Vermont, into Massachusetts, maybe even into Connecticut there, much of New York State, and into northern Pennsylvania, a few to several inches worth of snow, the heaviest of which will be up here in Maine, where we could be seeing over 12 inches of snow in some areas. So definitely another foot of snow on the way, and that will impact travel too. So the biggest snow band, the most significant one, is up here in Erie, Pennsylvania, where we have the blizzard warnings. Major travel inconvenience there as we have snow combined with the wind, so blowing snow, and that's creating whiteout conditions. So make sure if you are traveling and you have to travel for your job here in this area, make sure you leave with plenty of time because it will take time to get to your destination. That is for sure. Let's look ahead as we go into next work week, Monday, December 9th through Friday, December 13th. We're going to see that mild Pacific air off of the western U.S. with that ridge flattening out is going to start to shift east a little bit. Into the central and eastern U.S., we're going to start to see above average temperatures, and we're also going to continue to see more active weather from the eastern seaboard all the way back across the northern tier of the United States, with more drier conditions expected from California, stretching over towards Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, and even parts of Missouri as we go into next week. Looking at snowfall prospects over the three operational models, the European model here, it has a little bit of snow across the north as we go into next week, a little bit more of a significant storm potential across the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic. Again, the track, the intensity, the moisture it has to work with is all key here, so it's not set in stone that we see additional snow in New York State, Pennsylvania, or anything like that. We'll keep you updated. The GFS model, again, has that snow line a little bit further north, so again, some disagreement there between the European and the GFS model, which is the American guidance, and then the GEM guidance, that is the Canadian model suite, and we have that, again, more lake effect snow, more heavy snow from Ontario into Quebec, and less snow across the Northeast. So there is some type of storm that could develop across the eastern seaboard that could move up the East Coast with maybe coastal rains and or snow. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go into next week. But again, nothing is set in stone, and a lot can change between now and next week. So we'll keep you covered right here on this channel. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new. Like the video down below if you haven't already. And also leave any comments, questions, concerns below. We'll get to those after the video, and I hope everyone has a terrific rest of your Thursday out there.